Hello, and we are back, starting our series on preparing for data input. So it's very important to prepare for data input when using web-based GIS, because there's certain information that is required in order for you to make a successful registration. So a typical example would be a registration will involve, telling the system which district this material is coming from. It may also involve classifying the material in terms of a collector involved or work groups and stuff like that. So I want to show you that you need to log in. So let's log in and see how we can prepare. For this example, I'm going to log into Congo. All right. So I'm in Congo, and as you can see, there's a couple of information that we need to be aware of here. We've got the flags that indicates, what material is due for viability testing, what material is actually due for regeneration, what material is due for multiplication, and what freezers are actually due for either maintenance or probably retirement. So as you can see, we've got zeros on viability, zeros on regeneration, zeros on multiplication, zeros on freezers. This zero means we do not need to attend to anything at the moment in here. If we get a count of 1 or 2, anything greater than 1 means, for example, we have one viability test to carry out on the system. So these flags are very critical in alerting users situations that are actually in the database. So for example, if you have an accession that has failed a viability test, then we know that that particular accession must be regenerated so that we actually do prolong the material's lifespan. Of course, experts will use better terminologies when it comes to trying to really put these things across. So, preparing for data capture, what we most of the time begin with is material registration in the material register menu. And in here you can see that we've, for example, got depositors, we've got working groups, and we've got collection institutions. So it's very important for us to understand that we need to have this information standing somewhere in order for us to actually complete a full registration. Alright, so for example, I'll give you an example. If we go to collection institutions, we will see here that there is a collection institution that is registered. To add more, you just click on create new, and in here we could give an example like maybe NPGRC, or which other one can we say, maybe the Research Institute. These institutions. Okay, Research Inst. Okay, we give the email address of the person so maybe this is whatever email it is really here, maybe info@organization.com, the email address for the main contact person and their phone number. So this could be any number that we have. Okay, then the description of this institution. So we can say this is any description. You describe the institution here. Institution here. You describe it according to your own understanding, and after you are done, you say save. And when you save, you can see that we have the Research Institute actually listed together with the other one. So if you want to create another one, same thing. The advantage with web-based GIS is that most of the forms you're going to see will be related, will be similar, which means if I go to work group, for example, you see a listing of work groups. And if I want to add a work group, for example, serials, if I know how to spell serials, that's what I'll do. And then I describe serials here, describe it here, and then we indicate the period of viability. So for example, if cereals are tested every 5 years, we put in 5 years in there and we save. So you can see that this setup is mainly going to be the same. Really, we can go to something else, would be the storage facilities, and here we can add a freezer, for example. So we can add a freezer. We've got a freezer number of maybe 25, and there are no other numbers. If there's another number, we put it there. We can describe the freezer, the freezer. If there's nothing, you can always put in 2 TBA, maybe to be done later. Acquisition, date of acquisition, we could put in maybe this was acquired on the 1st of February, and then replace date, we can put those things, and other notes here that may matter. After that, we pretty much save. So what we are talking about here is that there's principal information that needs to be captured before we can actually proceed to go and do the other stuff. For example, we've got trip codes here. So when you say create new, the system allows you to create another trip if there was actually a trip that you want to associate with the registration you are doing. So without much delay on the part of preparing for, so the key points to take home here is that we do prepare for material registration and data capture because there is certain standing data that is required in drop downs, where let me give you a very quick overview of this. Very quick overview of this is, if you go here, you see that under collection institution, the one that we entered, which is the research institute, is actually there, which means if we didn't capture it, we wouldn't have seen it in this part of the system. So on this, we require you to ensure you understand your the data capture preparation phase, and then it will be much easier for you. So we'll be going to the next series, which is actually doing an actual registration. Thank you, and see you then.